It's a birthday party. Fans of my channel know that one of my heroes is Robert Gould Shaw of the 54th Massachusetts, and today, October 10th, if you're watching it on release, it's his birthday. To celebrate, we're going to do things a little different today. We're going to do our first ever We've done a few downer videos recently about RBG and 9/11, so let's take a breather with this change of pace. I'm going to ask you 5 Civil War trivia questions, and we'll see if you know the answer. Plus, stick around to the end for a surprise. I wonder what it could be. Anyway, here we go. Question 1. In my Glory of the 54th video, I talked about the member of Shaw's 54th who was the recipient of the Medal of Honor. Can you history hounds remember his name and what he did to achieve this recognition? Let's go to the tape. This is William H. Carney. He was born a slave in Norfolk, Virginia in 1840. His father escaped through the Underground Railroad and was soon able to purchase the freedom of his wife and son. He planned to become a minister, but when the Union announced they were allowing black soldiers, he quickly signed up and joined the 54th. He quickly rose to the rank of sergeant. Carney followed Shaw's lead at Fort Wagner, and when he saw Shaw and the flag bearer fall, he ran to the flag and prevented it from touching the ground. He was severely wounded in the arms, legs, and chest, but managed to keep the flag posted until reinforcements came and the unit was able to withdraw. When he made it back to the Union lines, he uttered, "Boys, the old flag never touched the ground." It was his actions at Fort Wagner that earned Carney the Congressional Medal of Freedom. He was the first black soldier to earn this highest honor. When he died in 1903, the flag at the Massachusetts Capitol was flown at half-mast, an honor usually held for deceased politicians. Well, did you get it? Quick note, did you know that you don't have to destroy the flag if it touches the ground? The flag code states that this is only necessary if it's touching the ground renders the flag undisplayable. That being said, in honor of Carney, in America, we do everything in our power to keep our flag from touching the ground. Question 2. Abraham Lincoln's son, Robert Todd Lincoln, was on a trip in New Jersey during the Civil War when he was nearly killed by falling onto train tracks after a crowd pushed him in the commotion of boarding the train. He was saved by an unlikely hero. What was his name? This is one of those weird obscure facts that makes history interesting. Robert Todd Lincoln was grabbed by famous actor Edwin Booth before he fell to his doom. Edwin was the famous brother of John Wilkes Booth, who would assassinate his father, President Abraham Lincoln, several years later. Bonus fact, Booth was traveling with his good friend, John T. Ford at the time, owner of Ford's theater where Lincoln would later be shot. Facts like these that make me love what I do. Question 3. What Civil War general is buried in 2 separate locations? Confederate General Stonewall Jackson was shot by friendly fire at the Battle of Chancellorsville on May 2, 1863. He was injured so badly he had to have his arm amputated. He would die 8 days later of complications of pneumonia. He's buried in Lexington, Virginia at what is now called the Stonewall Jackson Memorial Cemetery. His amputated arm, however, was going to be thrown on a pile of other amputated limbs by the field surgeons, but they decided to hold the limb in a place of honor and is buried at Elwood Manor, not far from where he was shot. Creepy. Question 4. What does the S stand for in Ulysses S Grant? The S stands for nothing. Application officers at West Point accidentally put an S in his name after mishearing the name Ulysses. It stuck from then on. Sherman, who was also at West Point at the time, kept making jokes about it. Lincoln even made some witty jokes about it. Grant tried everything to fix this mistake, but in the end he was unsuccessful. His gravestone even reads Ulysses S Grant. Through his reputation during the war, gained him the nickname Unconditional Surrender Grant. U.S. Grant. His first name isn't even Ulysses, it's Hiram. Guess General Hug doesn't sound as intimidating as Unconditional Surrender. Last question. What are those logs doing there? Well, these logs were what was known as Quaker guns. They are displayed here in such a way to look like cannons, to make the other side, in this case the Union Army, think that the area they were about to attack was more heavily fortified than reality. From this angle, they look like logs, but from a distance, cannons. They are called Quaker guns after the fact that Quaker practiced non-violence. This technique and other similar deceptions would later be used by the 23rd Headquarters Special Troops in World War II, but that's a video for another time. Well, Hounds, did you get all 5? Any of these trip you up? Do you have any interesting Civil War trivia to share with me? Let me know down below. I promised you a special surprise at the end, and it's this. We have merch. We have official History Hound shirts, masks, and mugs. Show off your taste in educational history channels run by K with our super cool logoed mug, protective masks, and See You in History t-shirts. Check the link in our description. And finally, I'm going to hype up next week's video with our very first on-location attempt at the Alamo. Let's hope we have a better time than Ozzy did. If you're new to us and like this video, then check out our other Civil War video, Glory of the 54th. And then, feel free to explore. Personally, I think our 9/11 video is the best of the bunch, but that's just me. You've been watching History Hound. I'll see you in history.